and gentlemen, welcome to episode 302 of the Drunk Dashers podcast. I'm your host, as always. I'm Tyler, and joining me with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Tyler. I'm doing okay for the most part today. This week has been kind of crazy in terms of the work stuff. Plus, I just found out I'm going to be moving pretty soon, so it's been sort of a weird, hectic type of week. But other than that, though, I have been able to pick up a good some of new games and stuff this week, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, you got some positives and the negative, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man.
So how about you?
Doing okay. Weird work week, despite only had Thursday and Friday off for Thanksgiving.
Yep.
It still somehow felt like one of the longest weeks of work in the history of mankind.
Yeah, it did.
But yeah, no, it was good. It was kind of cool. I went to the grocery store today, and I've been using the same body wash for years now. I just like it a lot. I get, it's cold. I get really dry skin, so I always use this like hydrating skin one. It's a little pricey. It's like $5 something a bottle and stuff. But went to the store today. They had it on sale for $3.
Nice.
And on top of that, Gables, not only was it $3, they had what's called a fuel saver.
Okay.
So fuel saver is like, so the grocery store also owns a gas station in the same parking lot. And you buy things go on fuel saver. So you go, hey, buy 3 of these items, you can get 25 cents off a gallon. And they just have a bunch of random stuff like that. So not only was it on sale for $3, for every 2 you bought, 12 cents off a gallon. I'm like,
nice.
I just so happens I need some. I've never seen it just cheap before. Sometimes you see it on sale for $4. I bought 12. I bought 12 of them. Could not help myself. I'm like, so I'm good. I'm good on body wash until I'm a big guy. So at least Christmas. Christmas. Yeah. No, probably closer to like Easter or something. I don't know. I really don't know how long they last me. But yeah. So that was a highlight of my day. That's pretty sweet. I did get to see Bohemian Rhapsody with Justin the other day, which was really cool. Get to see that. We went to they have a Flix Brew House out here. Well, not nearby. It's a little bit of a trek out there, but it's around. And it's like it's a brewery that also shows. It's a movie theater that also is a brewery, and they have like you can order food there, and like you just so when it's dark, you press this little button and a little circle comes on, and a waitress will come to you and you like write on basically like a post-it note what you want, and you just hand it to her and stuff. So that way you're not distracted people while watching the movie. It was really cool. Got to drink some beer, watch the movie. It was really cool to see Bohemian Rhapsody. Queen is one of my favorite bands, probably my favorite band of all time. Growing up loving it. I probably told the story before, but when I got a CD player when I was a kid, I got two CDs with it. My first 2 CDs ever. Space Jam soundtrack, which is still fantastic to this day, people. Lives up. And the Queen Greatest Hit album. So, because I was a big fan of We Are the Champions, because of Mighty Ducks 2.
Yep.
When Coach Bombay and all the kids are singing it around the
campfire.
The fire. Yeah. You remember that too? Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, of course, dude.
That was a classic moment. Great moment.
Classic 90s films.
Yeah, after they beat the stupid Russians in the fucking gold and won the gold medal. But yeah, it was sweet. I love that song, so my parents bought it for me, and I end up now it's like We Will Rock You and We're the Champions. They're like 2 of them, like not my least. They're still great songs, but they're like the least listened to ones out of my collection of Queen albums I own. But yeah, so growing up being a fan of that, it was cool. Like getting to go watch that, and it's like the whole movie is like it's really just a Queen concert with some like story parts in between.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of like the best way to put it in like video game terms. It's like Gears of War, where like, yeah, there's a story to it, but it's really just like some filler, like a little bit of a break in between the action. Like the story's there. It's mostly bullshit. Like you look like you do a little bit of research. A lot of that stuff is dramatized or didn't even happen at all. So it's just kind of like, we're just trying to put some stuff in here. Like, that's some of the best parts is the concerts and they actually do a lot. There's a lot. It's basically one big Queen concert, and then also like some cool moments of how they came up with the songs, which a lot of those are also kind of bullshit. But it was great. I loved it. I laughed. I literally cried at one point when they started singing Radio Gaga, which is probably my second favorite Queen song, other than "Don't Stop Me Now." Is always been my favorite. But as soon as they played that, I was like, I couldn't help it. It was just tears of joy just started strolling down my face. It was awesome. Love that. Love the movie. It's just fun. Obviously there's a little bit of bias there with being my favorite band ever, but like I said, I thought it was great. It's fun. I think it's even if you're a casual Queen fan or you just know their hits, you can still enjoy this movie. For just please God know that like a lot of the shit that happened in the movies didn't really happen or isn't happen like that. But yeah, so it's been a fun week. We had Thanksgiving, ate a lot of food, too much food. It was fun. I've been eating leftovers like crazy, like a madman this week. I'm assuming you did too.
Oh yeah, plenty. I'll tell you what, we just finished off the turkey today. So it's like, yeah, we ended up finding out that some bit of the turkey was actually not cooked. The dark meat was actually not cooked. And because everything else on top of the turkey was cooked thoroughly and stuff like that, so it looked like it was done and stuff. And then my mom discovers just today the bottom of the turkey was just trying to make some soup out of it. It was like, well, nope, the bottom part here is raw still. Like, what?
Yeah, no, you could throw the dark meat away anyways.
Yeah, I don't really eat the dark meat anyway, so it's like,
it's terrible. It's awful. It's good. It's a good thing you saved the white meat. That's the important part. That's the best part. The best part, really, all of Thanksgiving is really just the leftovers. Like I like taking the Hawaiian rolls.
Yeah.
And you put some butter on it, and you get some ham and some turkey. You make a little sandwich out of them.
Yeah,
oh god.
We still got a ham that we can cook up too. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah, we cooked half of a ham. The other half is in there, but it's gonna be for what is it? Ham and it's like a soup. I don't remember, but they always make that. My family always makes that after Thanksgiving. They always cut half of it, make half of it. Unfortunately, that means that the ham is gone well before the turkey is. We have a little bit of turkey left. I plan on polishing that up after the show because it's fucking awesome. But I'm running out of rolls, which is a crisis to say the least. But yeah, no, it's been an okay week. It sucks that next week is gonna be a full week again of work. Spoiled by we had Extra Life a couple weeks ago, so it was a short week there, and then a couple full weeks, and then fucking Thanksgiving. So, I don't know, but it's been fun. Just before we get into like the actual show, though, I gotta tell you guys, there ain't no news. I got MPDs for you this week, which just excites me because I love reading that shit. But it being Thanksgiving, not really much of a surprise. I think everybody's on vacation this week, so there wasn't really anything going on. So I figured this week we can I have a couple little topics that we could talk about.
Okay.
In its place. But yeah, like I said, no news. But before we get there, let's talk about what we've been playing. So there's 2 games that we've both been playing this week, which I think we can save for last.
Okay.
Or we could do them first, whatever order you want to do them in. And then I'm sure we have some games that we played that we both didn't play. Which one do you want to do first?
Okay, let's go ahead with the individual ones that we've played first.
Okay. Do you want to start or shall I start?
Let's see. You go ahead and start for this one.
Okay. I had a hangnail. Sorry, it was bothering me. There we go. It's gone. So I played a couple games. I picked up one game this week, and I finally finished off a game that I bought way back in like February or March. The game that I finally finished up, got off my pile of shame, is a game called Moss. It is a PSVR game that came out, like I said, February or March. It's like $30, but you can find it on sale. A lot cheaper nowadays. It's out physically now. It was digitally back when it came out. And it actually comes if you buy the $200 PSVR headset right now. It comes it's bundled in with the headset. So I think a lot of people have that game now that didn't have it before in the last couple weeks. But anyways, so I picked it up. I played it for like a half an hour. That was not too long after I got my headset. This is actually like the game that kind of pushed me over that line to like, because I've been saying just kind of like with like the Wii U and like a lot of other consoles, and really you look at it's like a console itself, where it's like I'm just waiting for the games to get there, the library to get there, and this was like the first game. And then there's some cool stuff in there I want to check out. The Last Guardian also VR thing was also a big push in that direction, which was only like a 10-minute thing, but it was cool. But anyways, so this game, like I said, came out 8-9 months ago, and I played it for half an hour, and it wasn't that I disliked it. It was just that I think I was playing it, and I played something else before that, and I started making me queasy, and so I stopped. I started playing Moss, and I was just like, I can't do it right now. So I quit, and I'm like, I'll just go back to it. And I've talked about a lot in the past with the VR thing, where I'm just scared to play it sometimes, just because like, I look at like you get like I don't want to play it on work nights because I don't want to get sick and then potentially miss work because I fucking played VR. I don't want to play it on the weekend because I don't want to like lose my 1 or 2 days off I get a week playing VR.
Just to get motion sickness.
yeah, because I mean, like the couple times I've got motion sickness, like I was down for the count for pretty much the rest of the day, and it's just scary to play, and like, and you never know, like, it's just been kind of random what games do it to me, like even like very popular games that like a decent amount of fanfare behind it, like the Batman game was my worst experience, where I literally threw up after playing Batman. And I've had like other games where I played, like one of my other favorite games I played on there was just it's called 2-Minute Drill Football, where it was you're just throwing the football, and it's just like you got 2 minutes to score a touchdown, and you just play like as many teams in a row and score a touchdown. And like it's like it's not like a very high tech game. It's like it's basically like the football players don't even have arms or legs. You just basically throw it at their bodies and it sticks to them. And it was like a $10 game, and like I was the most fun I had with that thing. I didn't get sick at all. I played it for like a couple hours. But anyways, Moss. This is a game by Polyarc, which is actually up. This game is up for award for best studio debut game.
Wow.
For Game Awards, which is oh my god, that's December 6th, so about a week and a half away. And this game will probably get my vote. It's so I started over. It was like only half an hour in. I'm like, I'll just start over. And what the game is you play a little mouse, or there's a little mouse named Quill, and her uncle is like one of the top people in like their army, and you're like we live in this village of like mice in the woods, and it's like you're mice, but you're basically like the mice in a human world. So these trees are gigantic for they're big for us, but imagine being a little tiny mice, how big these things are. And you live in this little village, and they go off to do something, and the uncle, he goes off, and you don't hear anything back about him. He's in danger. So Quill, she goes out, and she's gonna go find her uncle. And along the way, you play as the storyteller, is what it's called, and like it's basically first person, where you can like Quill's always looking at you. People can see you, and you control Quill, and you can also control the environment around you. And you're like, it's basically being told through like a storybook way. And it's really weird how it's done. But you also have the PS4 controller that you use, and the light on it is like you can actually like interact with the world. Like you move items around to solve puzzles for Quill, and then you have to like move the items, and then Quill has to jump along, like move platformers around so you can jump. It's mostly a puzzle solver, but they're not really overly complicated. I got stumped maybe 5 minutes at most in one spot, and it's basically a room-to-room solving puzzles. But the art style of it and the characters is just really well done. And it's a Tyler game, where it's like
right.
It's a cute art style. You got a mice, which is really adorable. Quill's a really cool character, but although she doesn't really speak, she speaks, but it's very limited, and it's just. It's very simplistic in the way it's played, but I felt that the characters and the story building and are just really well done. And I just cannot get over, like, it's not like a graphical powerhouse. It looks gorgeous though, this game does. It looks very much like the art style reminds me a lot of like Last Guardian or like Shadows of the Colossus, kind of look to it, aesthetic. But it's just cool when you look like you can like when VR, you can look around and you can like see the world, and like the draw distance on this thing is huge, and you just like you look like out and you look far out, like past, like, because like most of the stuff happens directly in front of you. You just look far out in the distance and it's like, this looks gorgeous. You can look it up, like it's nighttime, the stars are out there, or you looking like to your left, your right, behind you, and it's just, you see the woods and you can just see them go on forever and ever, and it just looks gorgeous. But just playing the game, there's some combat to it where you, like I said, you control Quill, and it's pretty simplistic. You have X is dodge, square is attack, and you can like stun enemies like by you can like move the controller over them. There's like this blue orb, and you hover over them and you press like like R2, and it'll stun. You'll actually like basically you'll grab them and they can't do anything. And certain puzzles you have to like control them to solve puzzles. Like you have to put them over, like basically like a statue from a Zelda game on a platform, hold it down for you. Or other ones that shoot like fireballs you can take, and you can control where the fireballs go to, like, to move other platforms around. All in all, though, it's not a very long game. It's I think it took me a little over 2 hours to beat. Yeah, which is perfect. Like, I don't want, this game didn't need to be a 10-hour game, 5-hour game, especially in VR. I don't know if I really wanted that. It was perfect it's probably the longest stretch I've played VR. Before, like, I think I played some hour and a half stretches before. I've never played that long straight, and I came out of it, felt perfectly fine. I actually, a little bit later on, we played A Way Out just right afterwards, and I felt fine after that. But yeah, it was a really fun game. This is one, like, I've had some regret buying the VR headset, especially now that it's dropped in price. Like, it's dropped in price like 4 months after I bought it. And I'll buy games for it, but then I kind of chicken shit out playing them, and I'll never play them. And just for that, like I said, getting sick and all that. But yeah, this game, it's fantastic. This is definitely a system seller, I think. Like, and being bundled with it, I think, is all the more reason to play it. But yeah, it was fantastic. I'm glad I finished it, and it sets up for sequels, and I'm hoping there are some. It is out on the Vive and the Oculus Rift. So it's on everything now, but it had like a 6-month exclusivity to PSVR.
Right.
So it's on everything. If you do have a VR headset and you're looking for something to play, check it out. It's fun. I like it a lot. And the other game I played, I'll go with this one really quickly. Super Mario Party for the Switch.
Okay.
I've had an inkling to pick it up. It came out about 6 weeks ago, and kind of what did it honestly was playing the Pokemon Let's Go using the Joy-Cons, and I was just like, oh man, like, I was using them, like, it'd be kind of cool to have some nicer ones. And I was looking, and I'm like, I want to play. I've been an inkling to play Mario Party, and I was looking at like different Joy-Cons you can get. And I really like the green and gold ones, or green and yellow. I'm a Packers fan, green and gold. It's the closest thing they got to it. And I'm like, ooh, I kind of want those ones, but you can only get them with Mario Party. And Joy-Cons are $80 alone. So it was a $100 bundle for just Mario Party and the Joy-Cons.
Right.
So I'm like, hey, it's a good deal. Basically, for if I look at like this, for $40 more, I'm getting Joy-Cons. For $20 more, I'm getting Mario Party. So I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll buy them. So I got that. It kind of worked out. It's all worked together. Traded some games, bought it. And I've only played it for a couple hours. I played 3 or 4 games of it. I think there's only 3 boards, I think, 3 or 4.
Okay.
Not a lot. I don't know if there's more you can unlock later though. And then there's I played a little bit of the online mode. But it's more Mario Party. It's better. I haven't played. I honestly haven't played a Mario Party though since the last one on the Wii, which was 9, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they just growing up, like Justin and I would like. I remember when I got my GameCube, I got Mario Party 4 with it, and I had no idea what Mario Party was. I missed 1, 2, and 3 on 64. I wasn't a 64 guy. And I remember going over to Justin's house to spend the night over there, and we do like the 50 turns and 100 turns with like his brother and like a couple of their friends come like stay the night. We're kids. I don't think we're teenagers yet, and play up all night playing those games, and just having a blast with it. And I think we played 5, we played 6. I remember we played 7 with a microphone on a GameCube, and they were fine, but they just didn't stick. And then like they kind of got weirder and weirder, and it's just like they've been just getting worse and worse. Like 10 on Wii U was pretty garbage. I heard with you're all on a car together, but this one it's not like is it? As much do I love it as much as I played as much as 4? No, but I don't know if I can. I think a lot of that is nostalgia. Like I don't know how much I would enjoy it. And plus I'm playing by myself. I'm not playing with people. Which obviously a big part of Mario Party is playing with friends.
Right.
But just playing on its own, like it is one of the most infuriating games of all time. Just how random and like luck this game has to do with it. Like I went into it was like I'm just doing 10 game turns, and they're like 45 minutes for 10 turn games. And like I had 4 stars, and everybody else had 1 star. And the way to win the game is who has the most stars at the end wins. And you have to spend coin. You have to like get around the board and get to the star, and you spend coins to get it. And I went, and I'm like, all right, well, so there's 2 turns left. I'm on turn 9, and I'm like, I'm gonna win this one. Shouldn't be too hard, even if they get some stars at the end. I should still win it fairly easily. This one fucking computer guy had 1 star. He got 3 stars in 1 turn.
Oh,
3. He found a hidden block, got 1. Or no, he got to the star, which I knew was going to happen. Okay, fine. He's got 2 stars. They move the star 3 blocks down.
What?
Gets the star again. I'm like, okay, fuck. All right, a little more challenging. Fine. Ends his turn, lands on a hidden block, gets another star. Now he has 4 stars. And I'm like, what the fuck? So luckily, it ended, and I should have lost the game. Like, because we had the equal amount of stars. He had more coins than I did. But I won the last 2, like the random stars they give out at the end, like the minigame star and then the space star. I ended up winning that, so I won in the end, luckily. But fuck that game. Yeah, man, it's so frustrating. Like,
that's typical Mario Party, though.
Yeah, and I knew that going in, but I forgot how frustrating it could be. Where it's like, I won every minigame. I won all 10 of them. And like I'm dominating people. I'm doing like all the smart things. And you get to the computer where it's like, all right, well, hey, you can fuck over you can pick a person to fuck over here. It's like, okay, fuck this guy over here. Fuck that computer over. He's about to get the star. Take all his coins away from him. Now he can't. Now he doesn't have coins to buy the star. No, because I'm in first place. They take my coins. I'm like, okay, now that guy just got a star. You screwed us all. It's frustrating. But it's fun. It's still fun. The mini games are fun. Like I think I had more fun playing like back in the day. I remember we just do like random mini game, like playing like random games on there, and that that's fun. I don't like some of the random ones as much, but I do have fun with the more of the competitive stuff. But that takes me into the online mode. So you play the online mode. I don't know if these are like their own separate games or they're like mini games from the main like game or not, but I played 2 of them and they were both different. And you play 3 other people online. You don't play the Mario Party part of the board, which kind of sucks, but you just play 5 mini games. And a lot of them are like time based, so it's like who can survive the longest, who can do something the fastest. And whoever has the most points total, like, so one of the games where it's like what was it? Oh, like the football guys are like going after you, and they're coming from you all different directions. You have to like go the longest without getting hit. And I ended up winning this mini game, and it was like I survived 26 seconds, or the last guy besides me was knocked out after 26 seconds, and I still had to keep going. So I went to like 32 seconds or something like that. So I got more points from it. I don't know how the points are scored, but so I had the most points, and it's basically more of like doing things the fastest or lasting the longest, and the points are based off your score, your time, and whoever has the best time overall in the end wins. And they're fun. They're like 15 minutes, if that even. Like I said, I think I played 2 games, and I got third both times. Because the one frustrating, I guess, part of it with this is like one person could just dominate. Like I had this person, like we all got knocked out of this one mode,
right?
And like less than 40 seconds. This other person lasted over 90 seconds in this one game, and just like lapped us in points. It wasn't even funny. It wasn't even close. and they didn't win another game the rest of the time. But we didn't beat them by a lot, and they still destroyed us. So they won one mini game where someone else won 3, and wasn't even close in the end. So that part kind of feel like you can have one really great game, and the other people can have 4 really great games or 4 good games, but that one awesome game can like trump everything else, which is frustrating, but still fun. I still enjoyed it. So I don't know. If you're not like, it's not something I'm going to play all the time. I'm going to go and play it here and there. But if you have people you can regularly play with, it's definitely a great party game for that. But if you like I said, if you're not like someone, you have a constant group of people you can play with, and especially with the online mode being limited, it's not definitely. I mean, wait for it to get cheaper. I'd say wait for it to go on sale, but Nintendo games never go on sale.
That's true.
Just wait till like ask for a holiday or for something like that, or for one of these days maybe it'll be $45, like 2 years down the line, pick it up. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. Other than the games we've been playing together.
Right.
What have you been playing, Gables?
Well, let's see. At least finally I've been able to go through PitterPot. I can finally say that not only have I beat that stupid game, but I've actually had to complete that game because of the recommendations upon playing through the last level of it. So, here's the scoop of this game. After spending roughly around 9 to 12 hours playing this, going through collecting every little bits of it through each level, then simultaneously going through and discovering that I gotta go through some portions of the game again because I have to collect these golden acorns in order to unlock these conceptual arts at one stage. And along the way, discovering how truly awful some bits of this game can be, especially in terms of the camera that does not stay behind your character. The way that when you do talk with certain NPCs, your character is not locked, so you could quintessentially, say, climb on top of PitterPot's wife and subsequently drop a bombing deuce on top of her head, and she will be none the wiser. Which I did do that in the middle of a stream, and that was definitely probably one of my favorite parts about that game in and of itself. But, oh boy. I can officially say that I collected all the acorns. Went through, collected, like, all the different types of golden pots, all the different types of seeds, which there were a grand total of, I want to say, 15 to 1,600 seeds across multiple levels. And I gotta say, man, this game is a flaming pile of garbage. Even at its discount price currently on the PSN for $5, yeah, you do not want to pick up PitterPot.
You paid $10 for it.
I didn't pay $10 for it. I paid $5 for it.
Oh, I thought you bought it at full price.
Oh no, I'd be beside myself if I bought this game for full price. But
Justin and I did.
Well, sorry. At least you guys didn't have to play through the entire thing.
No, just like the first 3 levels.
You guys played through the first 3 levels, and here I go. I subsequently went ahead, raised a bunch of money, and I completed it.
And not only completed it, got the platinum. The PitterPlat, as they call it.
The Pitter Platinum. So, along this playthrough, there were other types of things I was discovering too, like for instance how bland some of the level design was, how much the music tends to loop and repeat itself.
That's the best part.
Oh, and what was even more so of an interesting little traditional thing of this entire playthrough, there was a theme that went on, and the person who was chatting in the Twitch chat with me, her name, like Ellie Rose or something like that on Twitter, she dubbed this thing the Pitter Curse, the PitterPot Curse, where every time, like on cue, either 20-30 minutes into playing the game, I'd had to go to sleep because I would be falling asleep while playing this game. And yeah, here's the thing. there are parts of this game that could be pretty relaxing in terms of just like going into a level and then doing this and stuff, but no, it wasn't relaxing in the sense of, oh, the music's just right, oh, hey, I'm just moving around with my character. No, it was because I got so fucking bored while playing some of these levels that I literally could not do anything else with my body besides go to fucking sleep. Now, the lady that I was talking to, she actually contacted, she replied to one of our comments and stuff that Tyler made when we were talking about PitterPot and stuff, like you were mentioning my playthrough of it on Twitch, and we get this one message just randomly, like around over a week ago, from this Twitter user, Ellie Rose. Turns out she was involved in making PitterPot, actually, as a texture, like, concept artist or something like that. So basically what she had to do is she did like certain sketches for like characters and for certain like level designs or whatever. So basically she played some part in making this game, but she basically felt the same as me, as this game was just kind of like a flaming pile of garbage. And you know what? The best parts about that game were actually looking through some of her conceptual arts and designs. Like, she had a handle of actually designing the final boss for this game, which, let me tell you, this was probably one of the most anticlimactic boss battles I have ever faced inside of a game. Where, first things first, where you face off against this final boss, you have to go through, like, collect a couple things, bomb a wall, bomb a couple things. You go to this platform, right, and then there's obviously something that's protected by a little layer thing that you have to bomb. Now, you would think, okay, I gotta go right by it in order to drop this bomb and explode it. No. I basically was screwing around. I dropped the bomb the platform right next to it, which is a good solid, I think, about a foot away, and it still exploded. The walls things just broke, and we were just looking at this like, what? Well, here's the scoop.
Thousands of hours of playtesting.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because during our initial chat on Twitch, Ellie Rose and I, we basically got into talking about some of the development stuff about this game, where she told me the creator went through and told her that he had done, quote-unquote, thousands of hours of playtesting while going through and testing out PitterPot. Later on, she told me that there was only like 4 people total that playtested that game, which was the creator himself, his friend, and his friend's girlfriend. And which I responded to her, well, thousands of hours of playtesting, it seemed like somebody just played 4 hours of it and just uploaded it up there and just said, oh, hey, there you go.
Yeah, which is funny. I'm sorry, real quick, but like, Justin and I donated to his Indiegogo to this thing over 4 years ago.
Yep.
So, yeah, and this game is that bad. So,
well, that's the thing. You and Justin donated in support of this game 4 years ago, and finally, this game gets released on the PS4 4 years later because the Wii U pretty much kind of folded in and of itself at the last quarter bits of its life. And lo and behold, both yours and Justin's name are all front and center on the end credits of this game.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was watching your stream at the end. I just like, after you platinum it, and I'm like, oh, that's me. There's Justin. Oh, we're in the credits. So I immediately took screenshots of it.
Yeah.
Sent to Justin. I'm like, should we sue for slander?
Should we sue for slander?
I feel like we should.
So now I know the names of the people who actually had me go through and play this game. Burned into my retinas for the rest of my life.
Tyler Knit, that guy. Yeah, all the people that donated Indiegogo, all those terrible people.
Then I look at the first parts of the end credits. I see like Ellie Rose's actual name on there. It's like, look, There you are. And all she's like, whoa. I don't blame her and stuff. She no longer works with that guy in that company, the Treefall Studios. But what she did do is like send me a little bit of like links to like some of the music that she was dabbling in creating, not for the game, but just like off project. But she also gave me a link to the developer interview for this game that's on the Treefall Studios thing right now. And it's over a year old. I'm doing
after this pod. Treefall. You have the link still?
Let's see. I believe I still have the link. She gave it to me on Twitter. But Treefall Studios, I kid you not, there is a developer video that he went through and said. And you know what's kind of funny? You know a game is bad if Nintendo themselves don't want to publish it on their platform. Well, that's exactly what ended up happening with the guy from Treefall Studios. He tried to get PitterPot on the Switch, and they would not let him get it on the Switch.
That's bad. There are free phone games, mobile games on Switch right now that cost like $15.
Exactly. There are games like that are on the Switch, and yet you have a game like PitterPot that is basically one of the most underbaked 3D platformers that you could possibly play. And Nintendo themselves did not want to put it on their service. I think, and here's the thing about it. It's like, so she goes to him. It's like, hey, maybe you should go through. You can release the game on Steam, blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. So basically, what he ends up doing, he ends up dismissing like her comment. Don't even take it seriously. But he goes, like, one of his guy like coworkers goes into him and like asks him, oh yeah, you should release it on Steam, and he's all for it, you know. So you could pretty much see like the characteristics of this dude in and of itself. Because the thing about this guy, it's obvious that when he made, or conceptually went ahead and made this game, he used the lowest amount of funds possible to fund this. This basically feels like a generic Unity game. Bare bones, maybe using some bits of the Unity like assets from like the Unity store. But here's the thing. A bunch of the level designs were actually gone through, and some bits of it were designed for by himself. Which you can see some of the bland textures that were there. The ones that Miss Rose, that's what I end up calling her during my playthrough here on the PitterPot and stuff. There were some conceptual designs and stuff that she had made that he didn't add in. But a lot of the ones that she created and stuff actually looked a hell of a lot like better than what he would do, because some of them that he made look so bland on some of the textures, especially when you get to some of the later worlds on like World 3 and World 4 of this game. But oh yeah, the music for it was just god awful, to the extent where it sounds like somebody had locked themselves into like their sound studio room, maybe like spent like about a good solid 20-30 minutes or something like that, going and creating one track for each world, and then just remixing and just looping it around. It's like, oh, okay, here's the sand world. Oh, hey, here's the forest world. Oh, hey, here's this boss music that just basically is just a repetitive.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
It is. And it's exactly what it sounds like, and that's why it's so fucking sad. I kid you not. This game, in and of itself, I tried going onto YouTube, looking for reviews of it, try to look for certain gameplay of it. There are plenty of YouTubers on there that are not even touching this game, and I can understand why. There is maybe 1 or 2 reviews max that I could find for PitterPot. Hell, really? Even at one point when I got stuck trying to unlock one trophy, because it literally tells me to go to the top of like the tallest point of a pillar, right? And what's hilarious about it, it doesn't tell you what type of pillar it is. It was pretty much labeled, and it was interpreted by me as something in general. So I climbed up top this like multiple black pillars, these black wooden pillars, and it was just hilarious because I went across like maybe 5 to 10 of them, and then all of a sudden I go to one random one where I climbed all the way to the top of it, and the trophy ends up unlocking. I'm like, are you serious? Oh boy. And not just that, when I eventually got through all the levels and beat that final boss, what awaited me was something that was even more depressing and actually kind of horrified me a bit, and that was collecting the golden acorn stuff. At first, I thought I had to go through every single level again in order to try to get these golden acorns. Thankfully, I didn't have to do that. It's only one golden acorn per world, pretty much. Or up until you can actually go through and collect around, God, I want to say about 7 max. So there were 7 levels I had to go through, and what basically they were like sort of like challenge levels, like you would get for like specific games. You know, like how you do like a Hat in Time, where they have this separate type of hourglass stage that you have to go through and do this and do that. Well, in PitterPot, no, it's a lot more bare bones than that. You basically go through, and ironically, there's another portion that's added to this level to where you have to step on this platform with these 4 that look like mushrooms, yellow mushrooms, right? And once they light up, you got to go through and try to, with 1 life, mind you, it actually cuts you down to 1 life, like 1 individual flower petal, is how they based upon this life meter, based upon like 4 like flower petals total. You have to go through the most bullshit type of platforming things in order to try to get this golden acorn. Now, there are some terrible designs in terms of the platforming in general. Like, for example, while I was going through these quote-unquote hard mode sort of challenges, there were very slim platforms that I had to jump off of in order to try to navigate around. I had to jump through like different types of like enemy patterns and stuff, which were basically, oh gosh, let me just interpret this a little bit better right here. His idea of difficulty inside this game is to cluster a whole bunch of enemies inside one area and just basically have you try to just go over them in certain terrains and stuff. There was this one golden acorn, I believe it was in World 4, where I had multiple flying like kudzu enemies. Well, basically they're pothead enemies, because for God's sakes, they're just flower pots that have like freaking either crawl or they can either just fly in certain portions. Yeah, I know, most original enemy types in the world. But oh man. So, long story short, because I could ramble about this for another fucking hour, I could kid you not. Played through about nearly 12 hours of this game, and I got a freaking lifetime worth of mediocre platformers. Like, just I've had my fill of this mediocre platformer type of experience. But here's what I can get out of this. The music is terrible because it's uninspired and they loop around constantly. The graphical fidelity, the look of it, is very bare bones and basic. Quintessentially, this is what happens when you have Banjo-Kazooie go through, eat something terrible, and just take a diarrhea dump all over this fucking, like, Mario 64. That's what it feels like in terms of the graphical design. The texture stuff, the texture concepts that I really liked was what Miss Rose had initially done, especially the look and design of the final boss character. And there's some designs for some trees and some things and stuff like that that looked alright. But in terms of the control for PitterPot basically moves like shit. He jumps like shit. He basically reminds me of like freaking Simon Belmont from Castlevania 2, from where every time you jump, it feels like you have a weight on your fucking nutsack that goes all the way down to the bottom end of a canyon. So if you can imagine this mental picture where Simon Belmont is initially trying to jump over a platform, but all of a sudden, as a midway, just sinks down a chasm, yeah, that's pretty much PitterPot platforming in and of itself. And the worst cardinal sin that you can create in a platformer is you have to jump at a pixel-perfect end of a cliff in order to get to the next side, because if you don't, you're going to drop all the way down to your death. And that happened to me multiple times in this game. And here's the thing. The thing about this platform, and not only is it so particular, but there are such slim jump margins for some of the areas inside of the levels that you basically have to just go through and just pray that you don't fall off of this stupid thing, because you're just basically just taking your time. You gotta basically take your time on these small, like, sliver of platforms. Inside of the fourth world, there was one level where I had to repeat it 10 to 15 times because I had to go through this rigmarole of having to repeat certain patterns like in order to collect all of these flower pots and all of these random seeds. And what I had to do, I had to go through this area with all these vines, right? Have to avoid all these freaking melon cactuses, which quintessentially that's what they were. They had a design of a watermelon with fucking spikes out of them. It's like, oh, that's his version of a cactus, I suppose. But when I traveled along these vines and stuff, there's a drop down into a platform below. And so basically these platforms are like tree branches. There's like 3 or 4 tree branches. I dropped down to one. I had to go through and navigate, and I had to go around this like sort of cliff area, and I had to jump onto this tiny platform that stretched out maybe like about not even half a foot. I had to get PitterPot, jump him onto this platform, and I had to move myself over because there was a golden flower pot hidden conveniently right on the other side of the cliff. And how I was able to get that is beyond me, but there were times where I had gotten this flower pot multiple times, all of a sudden go ahead and try to navigate myself around to the platform and end up falling completely off the damn cliff because I did a miscue for like half a second. Oh, let's see. What else I could say? Let's see, the enemies. The enemies are shit, quintessentially. The way they are shit is because they basically just move around in a tired pattern. A lot of the ground enemies, most likely, well, actually, not most likely, they pretty much are moving like at a snail's pace. So the enemies are called kudzus, right? And so they're like these flower pot enemies, these pothead-like enemies and stuff that just go around like left to right. And so there are times where they will go through, they'll like be at a specific platform. It was like 5 of them or something, and you had to conveniently try to jump like in between of them, like in between the first 2 of a row or something, and just try to attack at the same time so you can get all like 3 of them without suffering any type of damage. So the way the enemy position is in this game, it's borderline just stupid because there are times where you won't even go through any type of bad stuff whatsoever, but you'll come across an unexpected moment where like maybe a flower cactus or whatever the hell, the spike cactus just falls out of the air while you're transforming through like a terrain through one level, and all of a sudden just randomly hits you in the head and you had no idea it was coming. I had that happen in one level, and what ended up happening was I was on my very last life. I was up to get the last like 20, 30 seeds of the last level, and I ended up getting hit in the head randomly because I did not know that there was freaking spike cactuses going all the way rolling across the top portion of this level. So once I freaking I pretty much died from that, I had to repeat the same level like 3 times because I had to repeat the same arbitrary patterns and tasks, which is the same, which was the same level that I had to go through with the freaking vines and shit and that skinny platform. That was the very same level. So, as you can tell, this was the least favorite platinum I've ever gotten inside of a game. This is also one of the reasons why that when it comes to actual platforming games, I may go through and take a break from them for a little while. Because now that I know what is the worst end of the spectrum, which there is nothing else that can convince me that this 3D abomination of a platformer is somehow not the worst game I have ever played. Because I have played some bad games, but this in of itself frustrated me so much that it made me want to go through and play Resident Evil 6.
Wow.
That's how much I fucking hate this game.
That's a little far, Gables.
Well, here's the
thing. I was with you until that point. I don't know if I can back you there.
Well, I'll tell you why. It's because even though like Resident Evil 6 is a horrible game in and of itself, and the one freaking Chris Redfield level where you can just basically run out of ammo and you can't do shit, at least I could enjoy some bits of it at a philosophical level before quitting. This game, I cannot enjoy at all because of how dumb the level design is, how horrible the music is, how stupid the freaking final boss battle is of itself. But in order to cleanse my palate of this game during Black Friday, I decided to go through and buy not one, but 4 different games.
Jesus Christ.
That I had my eye on for a while. I had actually a surplus, a PSN credit that I've had for a while. Now, the first game that I've got was the one that I showed you yesterday. I went to Walmart and I bought Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That was one. Nice. The second game was Persona 4 Golden, the game that I've had on my Vita, but I got it digitally. It wasn't on sale, but $20, it's a hell of a lot better of an experience than people would give it. Like, it's definitely a game I would recommend any Vita owner to play. Now, the third game is Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. I rebought that game because I know I enjoyed playing that game a lot more than I did playing the platformer PitterPot. And the final game that I had bought was Monster Hunter World.
Oh, cool.
I'll tell you what. I sort of have a void. After I got burnt out of World of Warcraft, and then after having played through and completed PitterPot, I need something that's going to satisfy me in terms of a gaming level again. So it's got to be one of those 4 games, or maybe all of those 4 games. But I got enough gaming content to go through. Plus, because it is getting towards the end of the year, I got to go through, play bits and portions of God of War, which I will play bits and portions of it this year.
Goddamn better.
Not only that, but Hollow Knight, Celeste. Basically what I'm saying is, this is the crunch time for Colonel Gables in terms of his Game of the Year stuff. And I'm done with the bullshit. I'm going through it just front and center. I am running forward, and I'm not doing any other stupid crap up until I at least finish a couple of these games. But yeah, that was my epic rant.
No, I'm glad. It's fun. Usually I'm the one ranting on this podcast. It was refreshing to hear, and especially something that what's been talked about a lot in the past on this podcast, Treefall Studios with their terrible games, and I've been in the credits for a couple other games of theirs as well.
The Letter.
Not the Letter. The Letter is what introduced me to Treefall Studios.
Oh,
that was the beginning of the end of my life. Justin introduced me to the Letter.
Oh,
actually.
That's right.
He's a terrible friend, if you think about it, actually.
Now you and Justin have convinced me that I absolutely hate Treefall Studios.
No, it's understandable. I think we're all there too. I beat the Letter off Justin's recommendation. It was like $1 on the Wii U. I donated to the maze. I'm in the credits for that one. And then there's that terrible balloon game. And there's one other game.
There's a puzzle game in and of itself as well.
Yeah, they're all bad. They're just not good. The maze actually wasn't awful, but it's literally just going through a maze, and the last chapter is on the level of PitterPot last level, where it took me over an hour to finish.
Oh. And
it's because it was actually not a terrible game. It's not a good game by any stretch of the imagination, but it wasn't like awful.
So in and of itself, dear listener, I would give my completionist rating for PitterPot a burn it.
Yeah, that's fair. Or just don't buy it. Just don't buy it. Don't support it.
Save yourself the mental anguish and do not buy any of the Treefall Studios games.
Yeah, they're all bad. They're all very bad. So yeah. It's just fun to hear it, because Justin and I have been the ones torturing ourselves with this. And I was telling Justin, I'm like, I don't know, like, when I saw you got the platinum on it, I'm just like, I can't, I'm like, why the fuck do you do that? I just wanted to beat the goddamn game. I thought it'd be like a 3-4 hour thing. I didn't realize the last level
Oh
will be 3
no,
hours.
you didn't realize that in order for me to actually beat that game, I had to complete it because there was one level that was completely locked until I could actually collect all of the freaking items in there. So
I didn't. Hey! I didn't. I just wanted you to beat the last boss.
I know.
You could have stopped
I
there.
know.
Could have just stopped there. You.
I
love
was in
Gables.
so deep that I was
love
like, you know
man.
what? I gotta finish this. I gotta finish
You
this.
didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do it, Gables. You could have backed away.
Well, I did it all for the kids. So hell.
You did, and I appreciate that. I love you for it, but don't do that again, please.
Oh yeah, of course.
I feel like a terrible person for making you play this game.
Both you and Justin both just simultaneously felt terrible as soon as you saw the progression. And I was just like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh god, no.
Yeah, because I was thinking, it'll take a few hours to beat. It doesn't look like there's a lot to this game. There's like 5 worlds, a couple levels per world. I was like, a couple hours, 3 hours, 4 hours at most. No, not 12. So yeah, I'm glad it's over though. I'm glad the nightmare is over for you, Gables.
Well,
but kind of moving on with some of, like you were talking about Black Friday. That was one of the topics I did have for the week. You picked up a few games. I picked up a couple as well.
Nice.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I picked up Mario Party. Not a Black Friday deal by any means, but I also picked up Starlink. For the Switch.
Nice.
It's the. I remember a lot of people. It was shown off at E3 last year, and I'm like, everybody's like, ugh, it's just a shitty. Another one of those. Here's a bunch of toys for the game. You have to buy separately. And then last year, or this past E3, they showed off the actual gameplay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think everybody came away from that game like, this game looks like it actually could be really fun. It's a Ubisoft game. Like, this game looks like it could be really cool.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for like the toy stuff, the Toys of Life stuff.
Oh god, I know.
And they added the Star Fox stuff for the Switch exclusively, and I'm like, ooh, I think a lot of people felt the same way that I did about them. Like, I kind of want to check it out just for Star Fox stuff. The reviews came out, and it came out to like mostly positive reviews. But anyway, so the game came out, and I was like, and like I said at the time, because when after during E3, where like, this is a game I want to check out. Like, it looks like it'd be fun for the Star Fox stuff, but it's $80 for the Star Fox starter kit and all that. I don't want to pay $80 for that. Well, Black Friday, it was $35. I'm like, that's a pretty good deal. It just came out like a month ago. I don't know when I'm going to see it this cheap again, so I want to purchase that. I haven't got it yet. It's being shipped. I'll get it sometime later this week. And I picked up, this is an old game, but the new ones, its leaks are starting to come out for it. Actually, just this the last couple of days, coincidentally, for the next one, they release the game every other May rather, but Mortal Kombat XL. It's
oh really?
Mortal Kombat X. Yeah, it was $5 on the PSN Black Friday deal, and it's Mortal Kombat X. But then the XL is the one that comes with all of the season pass stuff. I'm like, it's a good deal. I was actually thinking about because I've been thinking about it for a while now, because I'm like, any time now, like I thought E3 we'd see the new Mortal Kombat 11, whatever it's gonna be called. Because like I said, they swap every 2 years with a new Injustice game. Then 2 years later, we get a new Mortal Kombat game. Every other May, and so I'm like, we know it's coming. And then it just so happened that like right after I bought it, the leaks started coming out for it. Just a couple character reveals or leaks. Picked that up, so I didn't really go too crazy this year. I think I did pretty good as far as going out and buying a bunch of games. I think for the most part, I picked up all the games I already wanted to play, or I've played them already. So yeah, not a lot. I'm still looking at some stuff here and there. Like, ooh, that's kind of tempting. Like, I was looking at Monster Hunter World. I think it was like $25 or $30.
It was $25 on PSN, which was mainly the reason why I picked it up, is because it looks fun and it is half off.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a good deal. I thought of picking it up, but that's just, it's a very deep game. And one of the other things I want to talk about was kind of like, you kind of already touched on it, but our pile of shame for games that came out this year that we haven't played or haven't played enough of or want to finish, blah, blah, blah. And, I was thinking about that. I'm like, when I was thinking about getting Monster Hunter World, I'm like usually like this time of year, like right around Thanksgiving, like that's when the last big game comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the rest of the year, like you play that game, and then the rest, like the last little bit of November and then all of December is just like play through, like played through all the stuff that you missed in 2018, but no, not this year. December of this year, for 2018, is crazy.
Yep.
With Smash Brothers. What the hell? Oh, Just Cause 4 is coming out. I'm not getting that, but that's coming out. So there's two big games that you never really see anything come out in December. Let alone
That's true.
Probably one of the biggest games of the year at Smash Brothers, and then Just Cause 4, which is a really is it 4? Yeah, 4. Which is a really popular franchise. But I was looking on a pile of shame, but like I said, I thought I went against getting Monster Hunter World because they had there's a game I've been looking forward to for quite a while called Desert Child.
Okay.
It's coming. It was supposed to come to Switch exclusively, or like a launch exclusive, but now it's coming to everything on December 11th. It looks like a really cool indie game where it's like a lot of great music. It's like a 2D side scroller. It looks really fun with a unique art style. And then a game called I've talked about in the past called Gris, which is a Switch exclusive. It's a Devolver game, which oddly enough I've bought a few of their games this year, and I bought games of theirs in the past, and they always have a cool hook to them, but I never get into them. Like I think Parking Garage is one of them that came out earlier this year. The zombie game, a top-down shooter. I did not like it. I picked up a couple other games, same thing, just did not like them. But there's a game called I think it's Gris, Gris, Grizz or Gris. Comes December 13th. And I said in the past, it's like 2D Journey is what it reminds me of. The game Journey, but in 2D. And it looks, the music sounds gorgeous, or the music is gorgeous. The art style is gorgeous. And the whole game is just gorgeous. So those three games, big games coming out in December, all coming out within a week of each other. And then on top of that, for the games that come out this year that I have yet to finish, or that I want to play some more of, A Way Out, which we'll get to later, is one that's on there.
Yep.
Starlink, which I've yet to play. There's two games I just picked, or one game I picked up for my trip to Vegas that I just never got around to playing. Or I played, and then deals with a dog dying. I got really sad, so I quit playing.
Aww.
But it's a really cool start when I started playing it, called Crossing Souls. A lot of people compare it to like Earthbound. It's on the Switch, PS4. It's on everything. Forgotten Anne is a game that came out earlier this year, but it just came out like a couple weeks ago on Switch. And I was looking at the new releases on Switch, and I was like, this game looks kind of interesting. So I watched a trailer for it. I'm like, this game looks really cool. It's like an anime 2D style game, but it's supposed to be the what I can tell. There's no reviews out there for it, but they're you can go. I went online. I looked up what people are saying about it, and a lot of really positive things are being said. So I went to go get it on the Switch. It was like, I think it's like $20, but it was on sale for like 15. Then it just so happened it was on sale on PS4 last week for I think 10 or 11. So I just bought it on there instead. It was cheaper. So I've yet to start that one, but that's those are. Oh, and another game, Florence, which is a mobile game. It's on on the iPad.
Mm-hmm.
It's on iPhones and Android. It's like a $2 game, but it's like a 30-40 minute game. It came out a few months ago. I've yet to play it, but I've been looking forward to checking it out. Just need to sit down, hunker down, and play that. And obviously, Let's Go Pikachu. Games. But speaking of Let's Go Pikachu, Gables, you and I have both been playing that still.
Yes, we have.
So, kind of a quick update. Where are you at in this game now?
Let's see. I'm officially 9 hours in, and I'm just about to go inside the rock tunnel, which leads all the way to Lavender Town, I wanted to say. So I just got through, and I got my third badge from Lieutenant Surge, and the highest level Pokemon that I have in my party right now is at 27, I want to believe, with my Pikachu. Okay. But I did a couple of party changes. I'm probably going to be doing a couple more soon because I got the feeling that I'm not even going to be using like any type of flying types in my party because, well, that's the thing about this game is it doesn't have HM moves. You basically just like get taught like certain things that are separate from a Pokemon's move things. So I think I may as well put like Fearow and some other like Pokemon inside the box and stuff to free up some space. But yeah. Let's see. I got not only just Pikachu, but I got a Pidgeotto, got a Fearow, got Charmeleon, Wartortle, and Ivysaur in my party. So it's like,
Oh, cool. So quick update, I guess, for me. I am actually exactly 24 hours in.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot. Beauty of having a long weekend.
There you go.
I literally just got to Cinnabar Island.
Oh.
So I'm on my way to getting the 7th badge.
There you go.
I quit playing it to record this podcast. And I captured Articuno.
There you go.
After I do the 7th island, I'm going to go up to the power plant and get Zapdos. And I have Pikachu, Blastoise, Charizard, Venusaur, Pidgeot, which I'm kind of with you. Like, I rarely use him. He's kind of, since you don't need fly, there's not really much of a use for him.
So basically, what are you doing to fly to certain islands? You're just using Charizard, pretty much?
No, so Pikachu learns all the HMs, but they don't take up moves. They're called secret techniques.
Then how the hell does he fly?
Balloons. He uses the balloons, like from the minigame back in the day. Use balloons to fly from place to place. So he learns all your HMs for you now.
Oh.
Like the block push, surf. He surfs.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. So it's great, yeah. So the HM doesn't take up any move slots. You don't have to have your HM whore with you anymore. And then my last Pokemon I have is Marowak.
Oh.
Yeah, which, it was really cool because that was my OG. Like I beat Pokemon for the first time with those 6 back in the day.
Really?
So it's cool. Yeah, it's cool getting those back together. I actually have the Alolan Marowak, which I didn't realize.
Yes, it's part fire ghost type.
Yeah, which I didn't realize that because I was like, oh great, he's gonna be perfect for when I get to the Sabrina.
Did you do a trade or something and get like an Alolan Marowak?
Yeah, so because you can do trades pretty much at every most towns.
Yes.
In most Pokemon centers, you can trade like Diglett for a lone Diglett, Geodude, Meowth, and Marowak's one of them. Rattata, yep. And the only reason I did it was because at that point in time, my Cubone was at like 26, and the Marowak I traded, I think you trade with him in Fuchsia City. The one that has the Safari or had the Safari Zone.
I think how it was like. I think how their position is kind of interesting too, because when you do these initial trades, it's just right before like a gym battle that actually they trade you the Pokemon with a type that actually has the strength against the gym itself. Like for example, when you go to Cerulean, I think you can trade for like an Alolan Rattata and stuff, which is part Dark type, which you could use to defeat Misty's Starmie. And then if you're like in if you're like inside Vermilion City, there is actually a trainer that is right next to the gym, like inside one of the houses next to the gym where the Lieutenant Surge is at, where you can trade for an Alolan Geodude, which is actually part Rock type, and it's actually Steel and part Electric type.
Okay. So I didn't realize that. So, yeah, but he was like level 26. My Cubone was, or no, my Marowak was. Whatever it is that the level you had to be at to evolve.
Right.
And I traded him for the Alolan one because the Alolan one was 38. So he was. The rest of my party was in the high 30s at that point, low 40s.
Fascinating.
So I'm like, so now he's up with the rest of them. So all my Pokemon right now are between 52 and 56 level wise.
Interesting.
I've defeated every trainer I've met so far. I'm not doing as much grinding as I was at the beginning. As you get deeper into the game, the money is not really much of a issue at this point. Like I have almost 200,000, whatever the dollar is in Pokemon, and like the Ultra Ball is like $500, so I could buy 100 of those and be fine. But what's frustrating, so the catching the Pokemon later you get in the game is just more and more frustrating, where they move around a lot, and in like Pokemon Go, when they have that circle, and the smaller the circle is, when you throw it at them, and you do a curveball and you throw it at them, the smaller circle is, the more likely it is you're gonna catch them. In this game, it's just random still.
Yep.
So you get more points if you do it when it's smaller, and you have to land the ball in the circle.
Right.
So you get more experience points for doing that, but it doesn't raise the catch rate of it.
No, it doesn't.
And the motion controls, I don't like. Last week I said I don't hate them. I don't hate them at all. But I was part of me at the beginning of this game, the first 11, 12 hours in, I'm like, I kind of prefer this more to like the old school style. Where, like I'm not wasting my hits, my attacks on these guys. So at the end of like a long dungeon, I'm out of attacks, or I've used all my powerful attacks up. I'm not wasting resources. I'm not losing HP and using potions to keep my Pokemon going.
Yep.
But going through Seafoam Island, where you get Articuno, and a couple other spots going through before that, where it's just like they just move like rapidly back and forth. They're super hard to catch. Even with the Ultra Ball is the best Pokeball you can get in the game, other than the Master Ball, but you only get one of those. You have to use it from Mewtwo, so I'm not wasting on that. Even on these level 30 to 40 Pokemon, it's like they're the hitting when you hit them and you get them to go into the ball, the rate of the odds of getting them is super low.
Yes.
And just when they flow back and forth, like the motion controls are just not 100% accurate.
I know.
Like I'll do the same motion over and over again, and I've got it. I think I got it down pretty good, like how I want to curve it. But randomly, like I'll throw it to the left, and it just randomly darts off to the right.
Yep.
Or like they'll just float over their head, and I'm like, I don't feel like maybe it's just super touchy, but that's a problem in itself. But I feel like a lot of times I'm doing the same thing over and over again, but I'm getting different results every time.
You're not the only one. I've had experiences like that when I've been playing like randomly with the Joy-Con controllers when I'm going through like the motions and stuff. There are times where I would flick it, like I would flick this Joy-Con controller just right exactly down the center, and all of a sudden it would go crazy to the left, crazy to the right, or something like that. It gotten to the point where I decided to go through the handheld mode, preferably, and use the gyroscope of the Switch itself, which actually, to be perfectly honest with you, it works better in that aspect.
Yeah, that's everybody keeps saying that's the way to play.
That is the way to play, because quintessentially the gyroscope acts as sort of like you can just turn the system up and down and stuff like that until you get to the right angle to where you can get like the right arc or something when you're tossing like a Pokeball and stuff. I've gotten a few excellents that way. But to be perfectly honest with you, from the get-go, I've absolutely just hated the motion control catching mechanics of this game, because it makes it a lot more difficult in order to try to get the preferred Pokemon that you want. I mean, I preferred it to like the other Pokemon games, to where, okay, just select the Pokeball, okay, it'll automatically throw it and stuff, then you have the chance to do this and do that. If they would have just left it at that, I would have been a lot more like happier as a result, instead of just going through, oh, okay, let's just go ahead and insert motion controls in this part of the thing. Let's make it a little bit more engaging like Pokemon Go, which, you know what, it wouldn't have been so bad if they actually went to another way, is like if I could just turn off that motion control things and just use like a combination of the D-pad along with like the button presses. That at least would have made it a little bit more entertaining than opposed to just randomly say, oh, this is going to go to the right for no reason at all, even though you flicked it to the center just right.
Yeah, I mean, that everything about this game is like damn near perfect except for this one mechanic. And like I got the Pokeball Plus last week, and I still like prefer using the Plus, Pokeball Plus,
yes,
over the Joy-Cons. I really do. But the more and more I play it, like especially like Thursday and Friday, having those days off, like I spent pretty much all morning Thursday and Friday, pretty much most of Friday playing this game, and like after a couple hours, my thumb was hurting.
Yep.
And my hands were cramped because the ball was about the size of a golf ball.
Yep.
The Pokeball Plus is. It's not very big. So you got your hand like kind of like clawed in this weird way, and there's two buttons. There's one on top, and there's the analog stick.
Yep.
And you just click in the analog stick is the A button, and the top button is the B button, and that's all you're using. And it gets very uncomfortable after. It does after a couple hours for me,
yep,
and I'm just kind of like, I'm playing the game. I want to keep playing it, but I'm so uncomfortable and like I'm physically in pain, fighting through the pain to play this game. That's how much I like this game, and I'm getting past the mechanics I don't like. Excuse me, in the Pokemon Go elements, where I'm playing this game for an additional hour or two, fighting through like this frustration, this pain. I'll take like a couple minutes breaks here and there, but yeah, it's just I hope part of me at the beginning when I started playing this, like this time last week I was talking about it when I had the Pokeball Plus and I was playing for a few hours, and even really up until about Thursday, The first week I had it, I was only playing after work for an hour or so. I wasn't doing super long stretches, and I was like, I hope the new Pokemon games next year use this too. And part of me still kind of feels that way. I think more to kind of like make my investment of this, because it's a $50 fucking Pokeball, make it seem worth it. But on the other hand, I'm just like, man, I really wish I could use I have this $70 Pro controller that I bought. I want to use that next time instead. I want to use that right now instead, because yeah, I mean, I'm bitching, but I mean, these things stand out. Where, like I said, like the other 90% of this game, 95% of this game, I love.
Yep.
But I just I got so frustrated. Like, you get all these like repels that like keep Pokemon away from, like wild Pokemon away from you, so you don't have to do the Pokemon Go battles. And I was selling them. I'm like, I'm never gonna use these. I might as well just get money for them.
Exactly.
And that was the beginning of the game. Now I'm at the point where I'm like, fuck, I need to go buy some because I'm so tired. Like, I was going through sections where, like, because even though you can see them, they'll just randomly pop up still.
Yep.
And they'll pop up right directly in front of you as you're walking, and you get stuck in a battle. I'm like, God damn it! I just want to get through this fucking part. So I'm like running away, run away. And I'm just trying to like get through this section. Like, I'm so like, I'll catch Pokemon. I'll for at this point, I'm just like, I'm going after Pokemon that I haven't caught before, like new ones. But for the most part, like, I'm just avoiding battles, avoiding the catching wild Pokemon. And even, like, I was grinding a lot in the beginning because you don't really have to, but it was fun at that point on the first half of the game I played. And now it's just like catching him, it's frustrating, and the amount of experience points you get, especially at the levels I'm at, where I'm like, when it takes 6,000-7,000 experience points to level up, and you catch a level 40-something Pokemon, you just wasted a dozen Pokeballs that are 500. I just spent $6,000 catching this Pokemon, and I get 200 experience points. Are you kidding me? Like, it's just, it's just bullshit. Like you get, like, if you catch a brand new Pokemon on the first try with Excellent, you get a good chunk of experience points. Like, you'll get a few thousand, which is a lot. Like, that's like I had a multiple Pokemon where I caught them with an excellent throw, which is the best you can get on the first try. So you got your multiplier bar went way up, and so I got a whole bunch, which is awesome. Like, way more than you'll ever see from battling Pokemon, about battling actual opponents. But then, like, you'll catch them the next time. You'll do the exact same thing. You get an excellent first throw, but you've already caught them before. 300. Like, fuck, what's the point of this? Like, especially with some of these, when they're getting more harder and harder to catch, it's just like, I'm just wasting precious Pokeballs and money and time. Like, I'm mad. And I don't want to play this game. But yeah, no, I'm ranting, but I'm still loving this game. I just wish those two things I could change. Let me use my fucking Pro controller that I paid $70 for, and fucking don't do this again, or change the mechanics. Make it so it's not as frustrating to catch Pokemon. Like, I can deal with the Pokemon Go mechanics, because obviously I still play Pokemon Go to this day.
Yep.
Not hardcore like, but I still play it, a few minutes a day. So I like it to a certain extent, but just make it fair. Make it more like Pokemon Go. The thing that you are you're trying to attract these Pokemon Go players to this game, but you took away a lot of the mechanics, or some of the mechanics that made people love that game. So yeah. Anyways, let's move on to the last thing real quick. We'll save the topics or the NPDs for next week. Last
good.
up, we played a game on Thursday night. Yeah, Thursday night. Did. Another game I bought way back in March. I didn't realize at the time until it came out, where it's a 2-player only game.
Yep.
A game called A Way Out, where you're two guys. What are their names? You remember the guys' names? I just totally blanked their names.
Well, the one I was playing as was Leo. That's for sure.
Leo. Fuck. I'm going to Google it real quick. But anyways, so Leo, he's been in prison for about 6 months now. This game takes place in, I think, like the 70s or 80s.
The 80s, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and you're two guys who are bunkmates, or basically next door neighbors in a cell, in a prison. And you're trying to work together to break out to go after this guy named Harvey, who he framed the guy I was playing as, which I forgot his name, and he kind of turned his back on your guy, Leo. And Leo's kind of like he's an asshole, really, but he's a lovable asshole. Like he was very funny in some of his responses. And then my guy that I was playing as, he's kind of more like he's more of I guess like he's more of a good guy. Not a really good guy because he's in prison. He deserves to be in prison. He broke the law. But he's more of like sympathetic and things. He's trying to be, he tries to do the better option of the two in the game when you can do stuff. But so the way the game works, it's like split screen, and it's cool because it'll slide over like a little bit one direction or the other. So if it's my part, it'll be like 3/4 of the screen will be my part, and then the quarter will be your part, and it's all taking place concurrently with each other, and they're working together to break out. And spoiler, this is all in the first couple hours, you do break out, and now you're trying to work together to escape the police. And we've only played the first 2 hours or so.
Yeah.
Which I think is we're about a third of the way through the game.
We're almost like halfway through the game, actually.
yeah, you're right. I think we're closer to halfway than we are a third. But I don't know about you, but I'm actually really enjoying this game.
I am too. I was surprised actually how good of the quality the story was at the beginning, and also like how seamless like a lot of the combat and a lot of the other types of puzzle solving things were.
Yeah. So it's pretty much all story based. Mostly story. It's a linear game, and like you have to work together on certain parts. It's really funny. Like one part where you're playing, where we stole a chisel and we're trying to put a hole into like behind the toilet so we can sneak out of and work our way out of the prison and sneak out. And one person has to stand guard and watch for the guards to come back and forth. And then one like chisels away. So Gables went first.
Yep.
And he chiseled it, and it took a few minutes, but we got it on the first try. But for some reason, when I was doing it, so you had like 15, 20 seconds parts in between for Gables, where like he can sit there and just go, and like, all right, stop. And you're like, all right, cool. And for me though, for some reason, it was like these guards. There was two guards, like one from the left side, one from the right side, coming back and forth, and there was no breaks at all. There was like 10-second breaks, 5-second breaks here and there, and it was just insane. I'm losing my mind. Gables is laughing hysterically at me losing my mind. I'm like, what is going on? There's got to be more floors than this. Why are they're like stalking me?
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. That was one of the moments in time where I felt that was kind of uneven in terms of the pacing and stuff, because that was super quick. How you would go forth and all of a sudden it's one guard would pass, then all of a sudden at the opposite end where you don't really clearly see with the camera, but that guard is coming and stuff, and all of a sudden I think you got caught like multiple times trying to freaking chisel the back of the toilet.
Yeah, because
gosh,
it's frustrating. Yeah. Because I'm just like I gotta do something here, because like a minute went by with no breaks. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go for it, and I got caught a couple times. I'm just like, what the fuck? But yeah, no, it's just cool. Like, there's like one part where we got to work together where you're back to back and you're trying to scale this wall, and Gables and I are like, all right, we got to do this in unison. We got to like tap the X button in this one section, like this the circle, and Gables would he would do a little faster than I would, and then I would do a little faster than he would, and like we got to like take turns, and like it's really cool. I think the way it's done, we're like, you really have to work together. It's a lot of quick time events, really, where it's like, but it's fun where it's like you have to rely on another person, which is fun. Like like one part where I'm jumping off of a cliff and he's got to catch me. Like we both got to hit the same button at the same time to catch me. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, we're only a couple hours in, but I'm definitely enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. Except for the one part where we found the bug. We were trying to steal a truck. We ended up like put it together, and we spent like a half an hour walking around this farm, and it's not a very big farm, looking for everything. Like we got everything. We know where we gotta go. We gotta jump the battery, but we don't know how to get there. And I finally, after 15-20 minutes of searching around for this thing, I Googled about this, and everything, like instead of like a walkthrough of how to find the instructions, it was like the whole front page of Google for this one section was a bug for this section about that truck. So I'm like, oh, okay. So we restarted it and solved it in less than 5 minutes.
Yep.
So that was the one frustrating part I think we had about the game.
I think one of the most hilarious parts about that the game in and of itself and stuff was like the options, whether you can do the good way or the bad way. And it just shows just the options and stuff. Like we can finally get to that farm, that old couple, and all of a sudden it's like the point's like, okay, what do we do? Do we do the moral way, going through and just like free the horses and stuff like that to distract the old people, or do we go in there and tie up the old couple?
Yeah. What's funny is like, so you can like I was saying, my character will like, he'll pick like you said, the moral route, and then your character will be like, all right, it's like we need to steal their clothes and their truck, and your guy's like, all right, well, let's just tie them up and take their stuff. And my guy's like, no, let's like let their horses loose and make them chase after it. We can just go and take their stuff that way. And you can see the options that we pick. And Gables picks, let's like let the horses loose. And I'm just like, fuck that, dude. Let's tie them up and put them stick their shit. And Gables is like, what are you doing, man? I'm like, let's just take their stuff. But yeah, it was awesome.
The moment it's like we're just opposite ends or something like that. It's like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
yeah. I still think that was a better option. I think we should have done that.
It was a funny ass option and stuff like that. It's like, I was just thinking about it. I was like, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's tie up the fucking old couple. I'm just thinking to myself, like, no,
I'm all for it, man. I think we should do it. Yeah, it's just funny though. Kind of like we picked our characters, and it's really like, arguably like, I should have I'm more like Leo in this game,
probably,
and you're more like goddamn, what's his name? I'm still looking it up. Vincent. Yeah, Vincent is it. So I'm playing as Vincent, and he's the moral guy, and you're Leo. And I like in this game, we probably should have swapped places, but it's kind of funny. we're kind of like those switch rules in this, so it kind of makes it. I think
we probably will be able to better for the next time.
I don't know, man. I think we should keep it. I'm kind of digging Vincent Cybers.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of digging like how Leo goes through with like just be so like brass and like the fucking comments. Like the one thing, you remember that one scene or something like that where we're in the lunchroom, the prison or something like that, and like the dudes are like just playing like just pretty like shit or something, like trying to talk down to him. All of a sudden, I just picked the option, and all of a sudden, just smacks the shit out of both of them.
It's awesome. Yeah. So you have like, it's funny because they give you options of what to say to like, you can like talk to characters you want to, and you can pick two options to say, and they're for the character you are, the options are kind of the same. You're just saying it a different way, and it's basically for Leo. Both ways are like either say something mean or just slap him in the face. So it's great. I love that. It kind of makes you stay true to those characters, which I like a lot. But yeah, it's been fun to play, and I can't wait to go back to it.
Oh yeah,
I'm having fun with that. But Gables, I think we're gonna wrap this show up because we're going very long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So. Thank you guys for listening. If you want to hear more from us, we do have a Facebook page and group at Drunk Dash Nerds Podcast on there. Like to join us on Twitter at Drunk Nerds Pod. Follow us on there on iTunes, Drunk Dash Nerds Podcast. Subscribe to us, please. Leave us a 5-star review. Leave us a comment. Really appreciate if you did that. On iTunes again. On YouTube, Drunk Nerds. Subscribe to us on there, please. You can actually see our A Way Out stream on there. I exported it over there, so it's on there. So if you want to see more of that, you can check it out on there. But subscribe to us on there. Give us a big thumbs up on the podcast. Leave us a comment. I really appreciate it. More subscriptions, likes, comments, reviews that we get, more likely as other people can see us. And then last but not least, twitch.tv/DrunkNerdsPodcast. And also, actually more importantly, twitch.tv/Colonel Gables.
Yep.
Follow him and follow Drunk Nerds if you want to as well. But more importantly, follow Colonel Gables. He's trying to become a Twitch affiliate, so let's help him get there. But until next time, guys, I was Tyler.
And I have been Colonel Gables. So until next time, everyone, hope you have yourself a great week. Hope you go ahead and play yourself some fun video games. But most importantly of all that, I hope you've had a fun time listening to another great episode of the Drunk Dash Nerds podcast.
Hey, Gables.
Yeah.
Too sweet.
Too sweet.
Bye, guys.
See ya.